All right, let's talk about the GCSE Macbeth exam. It's a big deal, I know. But what if I told you there's a code to cracking it? Well, in this explainer, we're going to give you the exact keys you need to unlock a top grade. So let's just dive right in.
Look, let's be real for a second. This exam can feel, well, super intimidating. You've got the old school language, the super dark themes. It's a lot to handle. But honestly, don't worry. By the end of this, you won't just feel ready, you'll have an actual concrete plan to go in there and smash it.
And just so we're clear on why this is so important, your Macbeth essay is part of Paper 1, which counts for a massive 40% of your entire English Literature GCSE. That's huge, so getting this right can make a gigantic difference to your final grade. So, the big question, how do you get one of those top marks? Well, it's not magic, it's all about strategy. We need to figure out the secret code that the examiners are actually looking for. It's time to get inside their heads. And that secret code, it actually has a name, the Assessment Objectives, or AOs for short. Seriously, think of these as the rules of the game. Once you know the rules and you can show the examiner you're playing by them, you are set up to win. So let's break them down one by one. First up, we've got AO1, your informed response. This is all about your argument, your big idea. You need to have a really clear point of view on whatever the question is and then back it up with solid proof. That means quotes and specific moments from the play. This is where you prove you actually get Macbeth. Next is AO2, writer's craft. Now this is where the real magic happens. It's not just about what Shakespeare says, it's about how he says it. Your job here is to break down his choices, the metaphors, the soliloquies, the imagery. You basically get to be a literary detective. Then we have AO3, context. This is where we zoom out a little bit. Why did Shakespeare write this play right here, right then? You've got to connect your ideas to the world of King James I, a time when people were genuinely terrified of witches and believed the king was chosen by God. And finally, there's AO4, technical skill. This one's pretty straightforward. It's about how good your writing is. Are you using sophisticated vocabulary? Is your spelling and grammar on point? There are 4 marks just sitting there, waiting for you, so don't leave them on the table. So let's have a super quick recap. AO1 is your argument. AO2 is analyzing the language. AO3 is linking to context. And AO4 is your writing quality. Just think of this as the examiner's checklist. You want every paragraph you write to be ticking these boxes. Okay, now pay attention, because this chart is so important. It shows you exactly where to focus your energy. Just look at how massive those slices for AO1 and AO2 are. That's what's most heavily weighted. Your #1 mission is to build a killer argument and analyze Shakespeare's craft. Context and good grammar, they're crucial, but they're there to support that main analysis. Okay, so you know the rules of the game now, so let's build your winning game plan. This is your practical, step-by-step blueprint for writing a fantastic essay, even when you're under pressure. Here it is, your 4-step plan for success. First, and trust me, this is non-negotiable, spend 5 to 10 minutes planning your attack. Then, you write a short, sharp intro. Next comes the main event, your powerful analytical paragraphs. And you finish it all off with a quick, solid conclusion. It's simple, it's structured, and it's so effective. And for those main body paragraphs, there's a simple but seriously powerful structure you can use every single time. Point, evidence, explanation. You might know it as PEE. First, you make a clear point that answers the question. Then, you back it up with a short, killer quote. And then, this is the most important part, you explain how that quote proves your point, making sure you're analyzing Shakespeare's methods. And when you're picking your evidence, remember this, less is more. Don't use massive, clunky quotes. Short, punchy ones, like this absolute gem from Lady Macbeth, are pure gold. With just this one little line, you can talk about the flower versus serpent imagery, the theme of deception, religious ideas. See, that's how you rack up those amazing AO2 marks. Right, you've got the blueprint. Now, let's get into the details that separate a pretty good essay from a truly great one. We're going to cover some pro tips and, just as important, the common traps you absolutely need to avoid. So remember this, your job is to be an analyst, not a storyteller. You should never, ever just retell the plot. Instead, you analyze why Shakespeare made the choices he did. Same goes for context. Don't just drop in random facts about King James. You need to weave it in to explain why a Jacobean audience would react a certain way. And when it comes to context, these are your big hitters for AO3. The divine right of kings, the idea that killing a king is the worst sin imaginable, King James's real-life obsession with witchcraft, which is totally why the witches are so important, and of course the strict gender roles of the time, which helps us understand Macbeth and Lady Macbeth so much better. This is the stuff that unlocks a much deeper analysis.
In the exam hall, time management is your absolute secret weapon. That planning time at the beginning, it's not wasted time, it's an investment that's going to keep your essay focused and brilliant. And that little bit of time for proofreading at the end, that's where you catch silly mistakes and lock in those crucial AO4 marks. Whatever you do, don't skip these steps.
All right, let's bring this all home. We've decoded the exam, we've built a game plan, and we've shared the pro tips. You now have everything you need, a clear path right to the top. So just think about where we are. This exam isn't some big, scary mystery anymore, is it? You have the code, the AOs. You have the blueprint, that 4-step structure. And you have the pro tips to make your essay shine. You're not just crossing your fingers and hoping for a good grade anymore. You are totally in control. So the knowledge is all yours now. You know exactly what the examiners want and exactly how to give it to them. There's really only one question left to ask. Are you ready to go write your top grade essay? You've got this. Good luck.